Hey everyone, it is Ed Gutowski. What I wanted to do was just kind of create a welcome video to introduce you to class, kind of talk a little bit about the class, as well as kind of the books for our class. You know, one of the things about English 1C is English 1C is a class that is just loads of fun. I mean, on ground, online, English 1C is just a super fun class. It's a class that focuses on rhetoric and argument. And you know, it's just so much fun to teach. I think you'll really kind of enjoy the course. What I wanted to do was to talk about some of the textbooks for class. The first book we're going to look at is a book by Sinclair Lewis called It Can't Happen Here. And the reason why I'm using this book is, you know, I've been using it. I started using it before the semester that we went all online because of COVID. I got really good student responses. The students really seemed to like the book. And you know, it's a really kind of an interesting book, might be kind of a timely book, but what Sinclair Lewis, he's writing the novel in the 1930s, and he creates an imaginary election where this demagogue wins the election, becomes president, and starts to establish kind of a dictatorship in the United States. Interesting enough, that kind of might sound a little bit timely, and that really wasn't my goal when I started teaching it. But Sinclair Lewis in the 1930s was really afraid of seeing fascism and totalitarianism spread throughout Europe, and so he wrote this kind of imaginary novel. Students really liked the novel. They found it really engaging, a little bit challenging. And we can talk about Sinclair Lewis and why he's a significant writer as all, and some of the arguments that he raises are really, really interesting. The second book we're going to look at is a book called Rianne's Diary. Now this is a book that was discovered recently in Poland. It's a diary of a young girl who was growing up in Poland in the 1930s as the Russians and the Germans started to invade and the Holocaust started to happen. The novel has sometimes been compared to the Diary of Anne Frank. And again, I got great student response when I used it, especially as we shifted to online. A lot of students said they knew nothing about the Holocaust. Some students really appreciated being exposed to some things of the Holocaust. So it was kind of just an interesting novel that I wanted to keep on using. Then the last book we're going to look at is a book called The Hate U Give. This is a book that can talk a lot about issues of race and racism in America. Again, I was thinking of changing it, but it was the last book that I used last spring when we went all online. Got great student response, and students in my fall class really appreciated it as well. So I just wanted to kind of keep that lesson plan as well. We've got a couple of other books. This is our textbook. It's called Everything's an Argument. It's a good textbook to use as it really helps students understand the key concepts of rhetoric and argument. And then the last book we're going to look at is the Siegel Reader Essays. There's a series of essays and short stories that we'll read throughout the semester. This was actually voted the best book that I've used. I think students just loved all the essays. They're really engaging. They're really interesting. So I just wanted you to have a sense of what the books are we're going to use for class. It's all doable. It's all workable. It all works out in the end. I may have left out that we're also going to teach Henry V, which is a Shakespeare play that is just fabulous. It's a play that deals with war, politics, and rhetoric as well. The only other thing I would just kind of suggest, you know, we never meet in person having a Canvas session or a Zoom session. My office hours are on Zoom, so if you ever want to schedule an appointment with me, I'm always around. We can meet on Zoom. But mostly I post the assignments on Canvas, and then you can work on them throughout the week. And, you know, I just want you to know that English 1C is a class. It's going to be a lot of fun. I really look forward to seeing what you have to think about. And I just noticed right now above me, right there, is a little monkey. So I got a little monkey right there. Yeah, if you have any other questions, you can shoot me an email. Otherwise, I'm looking forward to knowing what you think about rhetoric and argument.